Hello everybody, how's it going? Yeah, Joe! Awesome. My name is Tyler Marshall. I was just introduced as doctor, but I don't have my PhD. So, I'm a doctor in spirit, not necessarily in practice. But I'm the founder and CEO of a agriculture technology company called EYC Labs. It's actually based here in Ahmedabad. I live in India. India is my home. I moved to India about 5 years ago now. I've lived in Ahmedabad for about 2.5 years. So this is very near and dear to my heart. I was actually here last year at the Vibrant Gujarat as well, speaking about some of the things that we were currently in process of doing R&D for, and some of the things that we were about to put into implementation. My company's only a couple years old, so it's really fun to come back and share on some of the progress that's been made in the last year. And I just arrived on a plane. I've been flying for 30 hours. I just came from USA. We have a couple projects going in USA right now, so I'm a little jet lagged, so I apologize if as crisp as sometimes. But so, you know, I just want to talk about a little bit about what we've done over the last year. I think that's a good place to start. In the last year, my partners and I, we did a lot of research. We did research into what is happening in emerging agriculture technology markets. What kind of technologies are being implemented and what kind of pain points are there? What kind of pain points are unique to these markets? The pain points which are in emerging agriculture technology markets like India, Nepal, Africa. You know, I heard just a lot of really wonderful things about solutions that address numerous pain points, that you just have one size fits all solution that just addresses everything. You have many different classes of farmers and many different classes of agriculture in India. You have rural farmers, you have commercial farming, you have upper tier investment farming, agriculture as an investment, and each one of these different classes of agriculture requires a completely different set of technologies. And so what we're doing with my company is we're actually developing a number of different technologies, each for a different asset class of farmer. Because what we develop for the rural farmer, that's not going to work for somebody who is an enterprise level client who has completely different needs. Somebody that we develop for, let's say, an investor that wants to use agriculture as an investment and track that return, that solution's not going to work for a rural farmer who maybe doesn't know how to operate technologies or doesn't have the access to funding or the access to capital. So we've really started to develop a large number of things. I'm just going to speak really quickly about some of the things that we are developing, some of the things that we've learned, and the direction that we're going to be heading here into the future. So as I was just speaking about a few moments ago, we're developing solutions, solution initiatives, if you will, for 3 different classes of farmer. As I was saying, rural, commercial, and a new class which I've coined agriculture as an investment. So I'll talk about some of the products which we're developing into those markets. But first, a little bit about the pain points. Some of the things that we've discovered are occurring in India. This is a few years of spending time at the farms, talking to farmers. As was just mentioned, you know, we have a farm in Sanand. We have a 36-acre farm where we do all of our research and development, driving tractors, doing a lot of really fun things. But just really quickly, some of the pain points which we found, which are most pervasive to Indian farming. Money wasted. There's a lot of money. The work that's being done with nanotechnology is incredible. The way that you can take massive amounts of NPK fertilizers, distill them, create isolates and distillants using nanotechnology to get 2 kgs of nutrition into just a couple of grams. That drastically reduces the amount of money that a farmer spends on producing an expanded number of crops. Beautiful things. Lack of marketplace. Farmers unable to sell existing crops due to an oversaturation of similar crops. Through technology, a farmer is able to grow and introduce new crops into the market, especially using controlled environment agriculture, hydroponics, and things like this. I'll speak to that a little bit more here in a moment. Sub-market pricing. So, of course, the farmer is not able to get fair market value for their crops because of all the intermediaries in the supply chain between the farmer and the final market. Food waste. Spoilage due to lack of value-add facilities, that's a huge one. Either food going to waste on the property itself or in transit to the final destination where it's going to be sold. Infertile lands, of course, soils being stripped of nutrients due to over-farming with synthetic fertilizers. There's only 10 pin points, so this is the last slide. Poor digital connectivity. Of course, lack of digital infrastructure in the farms themselves. There's a lot of amazing programs being implemented over the last few years to bring that connectivity into the farms. Loon, there's a few other incredible ones. 5G is on the precipice of rolling out, which is going to completely change everything in terms of data connectivity and the transference of information. Small land holdings, of course, unprofitable and fragmented land plots. You have farmers who had huge plots of land, has 5 kids, each child gets a piece of the land. That farmer has 5 kids, each child gets a piece of the land, and so on and so on. And so farmers are left with very small plots of land that they're trying to monetize. It becomes very difficult, and that's where technology can come into play and help network these small land holding farmers through co-op initiatives, being networked through mobile applications and things like this. Climate change, of course, farmers being dependent on rain and canals for crop production. Technology can play a huge role in assisting a farmer deal with climate change. Lack of knowledge, as I was talking about a few moments ago. Lack of knowledge into how to interface. I heard so many wonderful things during your speech, but the mobile application with graphical user interfaces, which are picture-based, incredible. Discovery-based learning, that sort of things, where you're coaching the farmer to learn on their own on how to discover some of these things. Really exciting stuff. And then, of course, youth migration. In my opinion, this is the big one. This is the big one. The youth, which are going away from the farms and moving to inner cities in search of other things. Maybe, in search of technology. When, all the technology is coming to the farm right now, which is really exciting. So, I mean, the reason why I'm bringing up all of these pain points is you have to start with this in mind before you can build anything. Because if you just think to yourself, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. Oh, I want to develop solutions. Oh, I want to help the farmers. Well, that's great. But you have to work backwards. You have to reverse engineer. You have to say, what are the issues? What are the problems? And it might not be fun. It might not be glamorous. You might not build something that you feel as if is going to be on the cover of a magazine or something like this. You have to get down and dirty. You have to get nitty gritty. It's not going to be fun. Well, it is a lot of fun, actually. It can be a lot of fun. But you have to start with what are the challenges and what are the issues, and work backwards. So, the different technologies which are being put into place, not only by my company, but other companies worldwide in terms of agriculture technology. AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning, just staying super top level, especially into the interfacing of data. Data providing predictive analytics to the farmers. Once you have these huge data sets, you can do beautiful things with that data in terms of giving a farmer recommendations on what to do during different phases of the crop's growing cycle, depending on the performance, the current real-time performance of that crop. All kinds of really cool stuff. Internet of Things, connected devices. Basically, as I was saying, is as the digital connectivity to the farms and to these rural areas are starting to increase, Internet of Things, devices talking to other devices, either on a local area network, Bluetooth, through RFID, pushing data GSM to the cloud. These things are all becoming a reality. A lot of these things are already happening in other markets across the world. It's just really exciting that now they're starting to become adopted into India as well. Drone-mounted cameras. So a moment ago, drones were being spoken about in terms of fertigation, in terms of watering and giving nutrition to the land. Another really exciting things you can do with the drone, you can take hyperspectral imaging from the air. You can tell the pest, the disease, and the deficiency of a plant. And once you know that information, you can do stuff. Knowledge is power. LED lighting. A lot of advances going in LED lighting right now. Currently, my company is tied up with a manufacturer where we are producing our own LED lights for controlled environment agriculture, where we're able to actually control the spectrum of light perfectly per the crop that's being grown. So lettuce, for example, we're able to control the PAR, the photosynthetic accepted radiation, to induce the plant's photosynthesis to make it grow faster, to make it grow fuller, and to make it grow into the best expression of itself as a piece of lettuce. We can do that with any plant. So LED technology, a lot of cool stuff going on. Blockchain, such a buzz. I mean, all of these things are kind of buzzwords, but it's what's really happening right now. In terms of blockchain, distributed ledger technology is what blockchain is. It's a way of transparency along a supply chain. Blockchain has great implications in the supply chain. There's other DLTs as well besides blockchain. There's Tangle, there's Hyperledger. They all do different things. They allow for micropayments to happen between farmers. We can get really deep into the weeds and all this stuff, but since we have a very short amount of time, after the presentation, I'm going to be here. I would love to talk to anybody about all of these things in great depth. And then finally, mobile technology, tying the whole thing together, a mobile interface in order to control, to monitor, to network, to do so many things, to learn most importantly. Great. So just really quickly, some of the solutions that we're deploying right now into those three different categories of farmers, like I was speaking about: rural, commercial, and agriculture as an investment, the upper tier investment class of farming. For rural farming, solar-powered food dehydrator. What are the technologies involved? The sun, wood, metal, and glass. It's basically a convection oven that just sits in a farm, gets the heat, dehydrates the food, dehydrates the crops, and it extends the shelf life, addresses food spoilage. Great. Technology doesn't have to be code. It doesn't have to be AI. Technology can be what you're using around you to improve the life of the people around you. Another rural farming solution: electricity on a stick. This is something that we're doing out at our farm, where you pull a rope, you have a weight that goes to the top of a stick, you let go of the rope, the weight descends down the stick, you have a flywheel that's geared in specific ways that acts as a turbine, and it starts generating electricity. You can use that electricity to power small devices, smaller on-farm devices, okay? Again, it's technology. It's some of the most legacy technology around, but these little teeny things are helping the rural farmers tremendously. A rural farmer, they might not be able to access a drone. They might not be able to access some of these things. There's amazing initiatives going on right now to bring those technologies to the farmers, but these are some of the things that we're doing right now to help the lives of the farmers every day. In terms of commercial, the next class, this is called plant health imaging technology. So we have a client in Gujarat, a large commercial farming client, who we are engaged. We're using open source images, open source satellite images, to do what I was speaking about a few moments ago. Take aerial surveying of the land, determine what the yield forecast is going to be, and it helps that company to create buying solutions later on, 3 months down the line, based upon what they see their farms producing. That allows them to make responsible financial decisions. 2 minutes. Okay, great. So nanospectrum molecular analyzer. This is a handheld device to be able to tell, again, test the disease and the deficiency of a crop. This is agriculture's investment. This is one of our big products that's been very, very exciting that we've been working on. This is a complete controlled environment agriculture solution. We have a buyer with large fast food chains here in India who has a requirement of a certain amount of produce and crops. We sell these investment systems to investors. We're able to guarantee them a return over time based upon what the output of this system is. Okay, so this is a solution that works for one specific class of farmers. I had a really cool video of tomato farm, but I think we're running short, so I'll wrap it up. Of course, finally, support, the actual implementation. It takes everyone working together across government, institutional capital, education, private sector, international support. Support through government, again. Okay, so I have this slideshow on my website, uiclabs.com, if you ever want to check it out. Again, I'm going to be here all day. Would love to speak with